Hey guys, this is Miss Harlequin, and in this video we are going to be learning our new vocabulary words for the next text in our unit, and we'll be writing our example sentences. Alright, so as normal, just take your vocabulary sheet, and just based on the word, you're going to rate your prior knowledge of the vocabulary word. How well do you know this word already before the lesson? First word is compromise, second is procedure, third is privilege, fourth is reluctant, fifth is self-conscious, sixth is embrace, seventh is retreat, and the eighth word is abate. All right, so we're going to start with the word compromise. So a compromise is a way of settling differences where everybody has to make a concession. Everybody has to give in a little bit, and they don't get 100% what they want. So if you want to stay out until 10 and your friend wants to stay out until midnight, 11 o'clock would be a good compromise. You're each giving a little bit. All right, so once again, a compromise is where you reach an agreement, you each give up something in order to end an argument or a dispute. So the teams reached a compromise about who gets to use the gym after school. It's a verb, so it's something that you do. You compromise with somebody or you reach a compromise. All right, next word is procedure. A procedure is a tried and true process or method you use to accomplish a particular task. So using sharp metal picks, dentists like to scrape the plaque from their patients' teeth. While effective, it's a procedure that most people despise. So another way to think of a procedure, it's very similar to a ritual or a routine. It's the steps that you follow. The word procedure is often used in the fields of medicine and the fields of law. Sometimes they combine it with other words, like in medicine, you talk about surgical procedures or medical procedures. And in the field of law, you talk about a legal procedure. So again, the steps that you have to follow. The way of doing something, a series of actions that are done in a certain way. In science class, we follow procedures. In ELA class, we follow procedures. The things we always do when we first come to class. Our science teacher showed us the procedure for doing the experiment. All right, next is the word privilege. So a privilege is a special advantage that's not enjoyed by everyone. If it was enjoyed by everybody, then it wouldn't be a privilege. If you're very snooty, you probably don't allow just anyone the privilege of being your friend, the special advantage of being your friend. So privilege actually comes from the Latin word privilegium, which means a law for just one person. And it means a benefit enjoyed by an individual or group beyond what's available to others. So lately, with all of the current events happening and the Black Lives Matter movement, a lot of people talk about white privilege, where there are certain benefits you have just because you're white that people of other ethnicities don't have. They have many more obstacles that are standing in their way. Makes it harder for them to achieve the same goal as you are. So someone wealthy comes from privilege. Again, if you have money, it's a lot easier for you to achieve certain goals than somebody who doesn't have money. Someone with a library card has borrowing privileges. Again, that's only something given if you are a member of the library and you have the card. You have to have the card to enjoy that privilege. Privilege can also be used as a verb. So if you're on a committee giving away scholarships, you'll have to decide whether to privilege students from poor backgrounds. So when you privilege somebody, you're giving them that advantage. All right, so once again, privilege, special advantage or benefit given only to one person or group. Only the seniors have the privilege of leaving the high school campus for lunch. All right, our next word is reluctant. If the adjective reluctant applies to you, it means that you're undergoing some kind of inner struggle and you're unwilling or unable to decide. So you kind of hold back. You're not sure what to do. You might even have an internal conflict. The word reluctant comes from the Latin reluctantum, which means to struggle against. But these days, reluctant really just means that you're unwilling to do something. So if you're unwilling to do something, in modern terms, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have a struggle. You just don't want to do it. So here in this picture, you see that this Christian man is trying to share his religion with these two, and they are reluctant to hear anything about the religion. They're probably atheists, which means that they don't believe in God. So they have reluctance to hear about anything related to religion. If you're reluctant to dance to a terrible song, you're unwilling to shake your booty. And you might even have to struggle against your friends who try to get you on the dance floor. And you might offer them a reluctant smile instead. Like, all right, I'm going to pass. And you just give them a reluctant smile. Hopefully it doesn't look like a grimace or anything too surly. So my brother's often reluctant to stop playing video games and do his homework. When you're reluctant, you feel or you show doubt about something, you are unhappy and unwilling to do it. All right, our next word is self-conscious. When you describe yourself or somebody else as self-conscious, you mean that you are ill at ease or uncomfortable with yourself. So it's kind of related to having low self-esteem. Somebody who has low self-esteem would definitely be self-conscious. A self-conscious person might worry about how they look or whether they're saying the right things. You feel awkward. You feel like everybody's judging you. Being self-conscious is more than just being aware of yourself. When you're self-conscious, you constantly question the way you appear to others. You might feel self-conscious when you stand in front of a group to give a speech or when you're trying out for a movie or a play. Again, you feel like you're not good enough. You feel like people are looking at you and they're judging you and they're being negative towards you. You feel not good enough. So when you're self-conscious, you're worried and embarrassed about what you look like or what others think of you. You're aware of yourself in a very negative kind of way, very critical kind of way. She's self-conscious whenever she has to give a speech. And he's so self-conscious about his appearance that, if I had to fill in the rest of that sentence, what would he do as a result of being so self-conscious? He might have his hair covering his face. He might try to hide the way he looks, maybe wear really baggy clothes. He might try to stand behind people. Those are all the actions of self-conscious people. All right, our next word is embrace. To embrace something is to welcome it with open arms, to hold and hug it and accept it completely. So people sometimes embrace their sweethearts, or they might embrace ideas, like you might embrace changes in technology. Embrace comes from the French verb embrasser, which started out to mean to clasp in the arms. And now usually embraces are more than just hugging. They usually are romantic and they involve kissing. But you could also just say that you embrace somebody by giving them a giant hug. And when you embrace a new idea, it's like your brain is giving it a hug. So the noun and the verb form are similar. If you embrace someone who isn't your sweetheart, you might get caught up in and embrace. Noun. Here you're doing the embracing. Here you're talking about being in an embrace. Noun. In Henry IV, Shakespeare writes about a really tight embrace from a soldier. I will embrace him with a soldier's arm, that he shall shrink under my courtesy. So the soldier's embrace is probably as you are killing them. You're embracing them into death. The need for new books embraces the whole district, not just our school. So embrace can also mean when you contain or include. So here the new books include the whole district. Everybody is being included or contained within this idea. An act of accepting or supporting something willingly or enthusiastically. So again, that first example I gave on the first slide, you embrace the new technology. You are willingly taking in this new idea, or you're you're really excited about this new idea. All right, our next word is retreat. The noun retreat means a place you can go to be alone, to get away from it all. A spot under a shady tree might be your favorite retreat from the sun, or your bedroom in the basement may serve as a retreat from your siblings, somewhere where you can go just to be yourself. It's safe, it's comfortable. In the military sense, though, the noun retreat means you withdraw your troops. It's kind of like running away. The British retreat after the battles of Lexington and Concord gave the American colonists an early taste of victory during the American Revolution. So in war, you really do need somebody to retreat, or you just need to destroy them totally. As a verb, retreat means to back out of something, like a lawyer who's forced to retreat from his argument when the opposing evidence is too convincing. So again, retreat, you move away from something or someone. So here we see that the mice are so afraid of the cat that they are retreating whenever they see the cat. All right, and our final word is abates. Something that abates becomes fewer or less intense. Your enthusiasm for skiing might abate after falling off a ski lift and getting a mouthful of snow. So it lessens. You become smaller, less intense, decrease, diminish, reduce. That's what I really think of when I think about something abating. So over time, the anger I felt over the fight began to abate. It began to lessen. It began to decrease. It began to reduce. This reminds me of some of our sixth grade vocabulary words like degrade, just a synonym, or when something deteriorated. All right, so now it's time to write your example sentences. Make sure that your sentence has enough context clues so that somebody who doesn't know the word can guess the meaning. So you want to try to include the 5 W's or as many of the 5 W's in your sentence as you can. And as always, for your bonus, use any previous vocabulary words.